What is up, everybody? It's Steven, back with my boy Nick, and today we got another mock draft episode for you guys. How you feeling, Nick?
Dude, I'm super excited. This is ahead of my 32 team, so I need to loosen the muscles up a little bit.
Yeah, this is about a little less than half of the teams in your 32-man league, so I don't know how accurate this will
Same
be
draft
for you.
strategy. Same
Same-
draft strategy, no matter what.
Okay, I like it. I like it. So, guys, we're doing a 12 team. Keep it normal for you guys. We'll do a 12 team PPR mock draft for you guys. Redraft, obviously. One quarterback, two running backs, two receivers, tight end, a flex, and I took out kickers and defenses for this purposes. Always take those with your last two picks,
Yep.
unless you're like Nick.
Hell yeah. Eagles. Pick one.
I don't hate taking Brandon Aubrey maybe in the 13th or
Oh, why Brandon Aubrey? There's better kickers out there.
I don't know. We're not going to get into a kicker debate here. We're just going to jump right into this. I took the third overall pick, and Nick took the 106. So
Yep.
maybe some sniping going on there. Let's get it under roll.
This is going to be interesting. Number one should be Jamar. Did not go one. What?
Okay. All right.
Oh, that's an easy pick. Come on.
I'm going to rush to the podium.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. That's not happening. We're going to remove Saquon here. Hopefully, Jamar Chase goes number 2.
There we go. Okay. There's no way he
There
makes
we
it.
go. Okay. Yeah. All right. So those are the unanimous 1 and 2. Let's just keep it real. I love Saquon. Saquon's great, but he's not going ahead of Jamar Chase in fantasy football. So
Absolutely not.
all right, I'm on the clock here at the 103. I'm between two guys here. I'm between Justin Jefferson, who's my number 3 overall player on my board, and I'm between my number 4 overall player, and that's Saquon Barkley. And I'm wearing an Eagles shirt. I've taken Justin Jefferson in the past.
Yep.
I'm going to switch it up and go for a different build this time. We're going to go RB first. We're going to take Saquon Barkley. Not worried about the Madden cover or anything like that. He's going to Derrick Henry at the 104. That's
normal.
This is a crazy league.
It is. But to be honest, this is one of the places that I really want to be in a draft. Like,
yeah,
okay, you're 106. You've got obviously the target monsters in Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson off the board. You've got, to be honest, Bijan is really the only top tier running back of those three, in my opinion. Saquon Barkley's not going to get the crazy dump off passes from Jalen Hurts or anything like that. And same thing with Derrick Henry. He's not going to be a target machine or anything like that. So in PPR, you're really just kind of going for his high end rushing ability. But they left guys like Jahmyr Gibbs, and to be honest, the guy that I'm going to go with still on the board. And that's CeeDee Lamb, man. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not even a CeeDee Lamb fan. And I think that what Dallas is doing is Jaden Blue's hurt now. Like Javonte Williams is kind of They're going to have to throw the heck out of that ball. So for me, CeeDee Lamb makes sense.
That's a fire pick. I love CeeDee Lamb there.
And that's tough.
He's wide receiver 3. So, yeah, I absolutely love the pick. And we go Gibbs after you. Gibbs at the 107.
I like Gibbs.
Amon-Ra. I feel like Gibbs was good value here. Puka 109. Genty in the top 10. Neighbors and Nico Collins rounded out. And McCaffrey. I've been doing a lot of mock drafts around the 10, 11, 12 spot. And I think one of my favorite combinations, Nick, is this combination on Team 12. McCaffrey and Nico Collins. I feel like if you can get those two, the sky, like there is no limit for how good your team could be. But what are you thinking here?
Well, first, let me comment on what I would with that first. One, I don't believe in Nico Collins. I don't know what it is with me. I feel like he's at what everybody believes Rashee Rice to be, or vice versa. I feel like he's a great target monster and everything like that, but he has extra options now. Like before, it was him and Tank Dell. Really, that was the offense. Their tight end was Dalton Schultz. So obviously they had some guys that can kind of take it away. Now you've got Jaden Higgins. It's not Royals. It's the other one. Jalen Noel. There we go. Noel. And yeah, didn't they add Christian Kirk?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a lot of people taking away from that. So for me, I don't believe in Nico Collins, especially not in the first round. If you tell me he's the flip, if you were to put Christian McCaffrey there ahead of him, I feel a little bit more comfortable. But even then, that's too rich for my blood. To be honest, I feel like a guy that went after him, like Drake London, is going to have better numbers than him this year.
That's fair. I mean, they're going right around the same spot. Nico Collins, when he was healthy last year, he was one of the best receivers in the league, and his numbers back that up. So I'm not
Absolutely.
I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of Christian Kirk coming in. I'm not afraid of Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel stealing that many targets from Nico Collins, and Joe Mixon's hurt, so
Nick
he could be
Chubb.
out for a while. That run game could be weak, and that offensive line is the offensive line is my biggest scare for the Texans. So I
I
think Nico
agree.
Collins is going to be a stud this year.
If he is, then hey, I will gladly eat my words. I've got him in a few of my leagues. I've got him in one of my keeper leagues. So if he balls out, he balls out. But I mean,
Absolutely.
I normally go double running back, but this is PPR, man. I've got to mix it up. So I
Okay.
mean, the answer is really simple for me, right?
I
Real.
think there's an easy answer right here.
Oh yeah, it's Brian Thomas, man. I don't really care what anybody says. I even have Travis Hunter in one of my big time dynasty leagues, and I will probably play him very rarely. I don't think he's going to get the target share that everyone thinks he's going to get. I feel like Brian Thomas Jr. is still going to take that monster target share. So for that and a PPR, I can't go wrong, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love
Plus he
Brian
plays my
Thomas.
Panthers week 1.
Yeah, there you go. That's a easy 3 touchdowns.
Exactly.
I'm on the board here, and I go Saquon round 1, and I'm looking at the board now, and there's some guys that I really like out here. I mean, there's you still got McBride down here, who I really like. Um, Lad McConkey here, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Allen. I think I'm going to go RB heavy here, and I'm going to take
Ooh.
Jonathan Taylor. I'm getting 2 workhorse backs who could definitely both lead the league in rushing. It wouldn't shock me either. And of course, that stinks. All the guys I wanted to come back around are gone right after me. That's how it always works. But yeah, I like taking Jonathan Taylor there. He's a workhorse back. He's going to get all the carries. I'm not worried about Anthony Richardson coming in and stealing any touchdowns because Daniel Jones is the starter, which I think is a massive boost for Jonathan Taylor and all the rest of the Colts players. Here we are on the board again, and Nick, this is tough.
No, it's
This is
not. This
tough.
is a really easy decision. Come on.
I don't know between two guys here. Um,
You should be going down a little bit farther because there is a guy at number 35 that you might like.
I, yeah, I do love that guy. He's that
Mr.
dude.
Jalen Hurts, the stack with Saquon Barkley, maybe.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't want the stacking of rushing touchdowns.
Oh, that'd be
I'm
so good.
gonna, you know what? We're gonna go unorthodox. We're gonna go RB heavy build and take Chase Brown. He's really rising up my board, Nick. I think Chase Brown is in for a top 10 running back season. I think he's just gonna feast in that offense. All the checkdowns are going to Chase Brown. No competition for him.
100%.
I honestly think he's in line for a massive season. So we're going RB heavy here. 3 workhorse backs on your team. Can't go wrong with that. Nick, what are you thinking here? Are you going to go the
Oh,
opposite and wide receiver heavy?
to be honest, the name is staring me is Jackson Smith and Jigba, but the
I was
problem
between
that I would
this.
run into is that him and Brian Thomas are both week 8. So am I really punting on week 8? I don't
You
know.
can make it happen. I mean, it's not 2 guys bye weeks. Yes, they're 2 of your top 3 picks, but you can definitely still survive that week.
You're right. There's also another option that I could do. And depending on where I go or where I'm thinking about going with quarterback, this could help me out quite a bit. So, you know what? I'm going to go with a target monster that, hey, if he's going top 3 for me, that's totally fine. And that's George Kittle.
I love that. I
I'm going to
love
go a
it.
little bit farther. I mean, I need the extra buy. Yeah, 2 top picks. You know, I have another draft where I've got 2 guys, eighth round buy. That's tough. You literally have to plan your later draft for it. So in this one, where I've got you in here, I mean, look, Sam Laporta just went. I feel like that's a great option,
Little
especially
quarterback
for.
on also there. Jaden Daniels, Hurts, and then Burrow.
Yep.
Also, JSN going at the 312. I'm
I,
really loving this team 12 over here. I might swap over and take over team 12. No, I'm just kidding. Nick, what are
I,
you thinking here?
I mean, it's an interesting one. Just talking about the picks real quick. Jaden Daniels, of course, I love. I think he's going to do great. No stack there for them. Obviously, the next team, Brees Hall. I don't know, man. I really, really like Braylon Allen. So the Brees Hall pick's kind of weird. Same thing with Wilson, the Jets with Fields. I mean, they got some solid teams out there. But now
I
with
like
me on
Burrow
the pick,
here. I mean,
huh?
Garrett Wilson, he could have a great season because if you look back when Justin Fields was with the Bears, he put DJ Moore had 1,300 yards with Justin Fields throwing the rock. So I feel like it's almost a copy and paste scenario where Garrett Wilson and DJ Moore are similar enough play styles where I think Garrett Wilson could explode this season.
Absolutely, and especially in a PPR league where the Jets are going to have to get that ball out on a pretty regular basis, he has absolutely the chance to finish ahead of his ADP. If I'm going to be honest with you,
Yeah, no serious target competition against Garrett Wilson.
100%. And now this puts me in a predicament because I really want to go running back. I really do, but I feel like I have an opportunity. I mean, running back wise, I go Amari and Hampton, Alvin Kamara. I like them. I like Kamara, to be honest, this year, but I don't know if I'm willing to take him here. I don't know if I'm willing to take him over a guy like, to be honest, an unsuspended Rashee Rice. But again, I have another guy with 10, so I'm trying to avoid having everybody in the same week being off. So I'm trying to avoid 10, 8, and 14. So with that in mind, I can go Amari and Hampton, Terry McLaurin, who I think could do really well. I mean, there's definitely some options. I'm probably going to have to go and draft a little ahead of the ADP.
Okay.
Am I really going to do it? No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. We're just going to go Amari and Hampton. Let me do that. I do like the Chargers offense. I like the opportunity with his target share. He did actually catch quite a few balls in college, so I like his fit. The Chargers don't really have a wide receiver 2 established yet. Of course, they brought back Keenan Allen, who's going to be their pseudo wide receiver 2 until Trey Harris can take that step forwards. So I still feel like that offense through Harbaugh and the Chargers is going to run through that running back position. So for me, it's Omari and Hampton.
I love the pick. I feel like you couldn't go wrong there with the youth or the vet there in Hampton or Kamara.
Correct.
I like the pick right there, and you got to swing for the fences. And I think Amari and Hampton, maybe he starts out slow and they split some carries, but I think Amari and Hampton in the long run is gonna come playoff time. I think he's a league winner. So on
Absolutely.
the clock here, and I want to smash and take Terry McLaurin here as my wide receiver 1. I would love that, but the contract issue is still not resolved.
Yep.
Could get traded. It's a mess there. I've learned my lesson. I'm gonna avoid that headache scenario. I'm gonna go take the next best wide receiver on my personal rankings, and that's Devontae Adams. Getting his new quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Not too worried about the Stafford injury or the back injury.
Yeah.
I think he'll be playing week 1. He's one of the toughest guys in the league. And of course, McLaurin comes all the way back around. You know what?
Cortland Sutton's there though.
Cortland Sutton is there. I even have a star next to his name because I like
Or
him
do
a
you
lot. But
your team? Do you want to go get a quarterback, Patrick Mahomes?
nah, I'm huge on waiting on quarterbacks. I think this is a deep quarterback fantasy class. Nick, I always say this, and I think you have to swing for the fences in fantasy
Do it.
football.
Swing.
There's no trophy for second place. We're going to take Terry McLaurin here as my wide receiver 2 in the 5th round. And, he's going to play this year. He's not going to sit out the entire year, knock on wood. When he gets on the field, I think it's going to be a fantastic pick. So,
Absolutely.
Devontae Adams, Terry McLaurin. I'm loving this team, Nick. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm kind of in a tough spot. So obviously, I've got 2 wide receivers in CeeDee Lamb, Brian Thomas, tight end George Kittle, Omari and Hampton. Again, I'm trying to stick to my philosophy of don't draft players that are constantly off together. So obviously, I've got some options here. I could go a bit deeper and overdraft somebody like Joe Mixon, but no, he's hurt. I could go and get an Aaron Jones or a DeAndre Swift. But to be honest, I'm going to go with the safe pick, the guy that's going to help, who I believe is going to be the MVP, and that's number 55 on your list. He's a wide receiver. His name is Zay Flowers.
I like it.
I love the potential of him. 24. Again, I think Lamar's really going to make a push for not only the MVP, but the Super Bowl this year. And if he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it on the backs of guys like Zay Flowers, who did have a pretty decent target share, even with guys like Rashad Bateman there. So I like the opportunity for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the pick. After you, we get 3 Chiefs in a row go. Worthy, Mahomes, Kelsey. Harvey goes, another quarterback, Baker Mayfield.
Harvey
Baker
went ahead of
Mayfield,
Henderson.
5th round. It's too rich for my blood. Harvey, Pacheco, and Swift go ahead of Henderson. I would
That
take
blows
Henderson
my mind.
definitely before the 3 of those. George Pickens also goes, and Jameson Williams, and your boy Tet McMillan goes. And that would have been a
I wanted him to
open.
fall to me. That would have been my first double.
Here you go, Nick. You're on the clock again. You got 3 receivers, 1 running back, 1
Ooh.
tight end. What are you thinking here?
I've got to go running back or I've got to go depth. So if I'm going depth, I want a guy that is going to be able to get me a bunch of targets. I'm not really sure who that is that year. Is that the dependable Jalen Waddle for the Miami Dolphins? Is that somebody like Aaron Jones with Minnesota, who I think, to be honest, could get a bunch of carries because J.J. McCarthy is going to be learning? I don't know. I could go my normal route, which is go young running back, go get Quinshawn Judkins. But you know what? I'm going to be different in this one. I'm going to go get Aaron Jones. I'm going to go with that Minnesota running back. I like the opportunity. And again, if J.J. McCarthy is anything, if he is his salt in the NFL, a guy like Aaron Jones is going to have to feast.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the pick there. I like him as an RB2.
Yep.
The only thing I disagree with is you said the dependable Jalen Waddle, and I don't think dependable and Jalen Waddle go together.
That's exactly why I couldn't. Like, it's like, is he going to be dependable this year? Tyreek Hill's still there. I don't know. I don't believe yet.
We're on the clock here, and going 3 running backs here. I'm very confident in the running backs. I feel like I don't need to touch a running back for a little while. I could go Calvin Ridley's available. I'm looking at Bo Nix, and like I said, I don't like taking a quarterback in the I think we got to start calling it the quarterback dead zone. There's the running back dead zone, which we're in, but this is the quarterback dead zone, and I'm not a fan. I don't think you ever get your ROI taking Mahomes, Mayfield, Bo Nix. The quarterback's going from like the 5th round to the 8th round. I don't think they're ever going to return on their draft position. But I mean, when you go for the elite, what is that? The elite 5 of Allen, Lamar, Hurts, Daniels, Burrow. They're the only quarterbacks I'll take early, or I'm punting the position and going late.
Agreed.
So here I am on the clock. Love my running back, so I'm going to go with a wide receiver here, and I'm going to go with a guy who's rising up my board.
Fantastic. Yes.
I'm a huge fan of him last year, and this year he's just skyrocketing up my boards. Every time I do my rankings, Nick, he's going up 3-4 spots every single time. That's Jerry Jeudy of the Browns. Joe Flacco getting the start just makes it even better. And yeah, I think he's just going to pick up where he left off last season, and could be a league-winning pick right there.
Absolutely. And this puts you in a great position now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really loving how this draft has turned out. I could go get a tight end. Like I said, I got 3 receivers and 3 running backs, and we're just going to keep adding depth here. We're going to get my best player available and my next best wide receiver available, and that's Chris Olave.
Ooh.
I'm swinging for the fences here, Nick, and I feel confident. Olave can stay healthy. I think he can, climb his way back up into being a 3rd, 4th round pick next season. No real target competition for Olave. The only thing is who's going to be throwing him the ball. That's a good question. Probably Rattler, if I had to guess.
Really? You think Rattler? I don't like Rattler. Nobody
likes Rattler.
I did. I liked him coming out of college, but man, I do not like the fit with Kellen Moore.
Hey, that's my boy.
Hey, Kellen Moore's great. Just not. I at this point, I'd rather than play Shuck.
Okay, that's fair. See what you get in Shuck. But anywho, whoever's quarterback for Olave, I think he's the number 1 read on most plays. So I think he can just, volume his way into a top 24 season. And as my wide receiver 4, I think that's great value.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
What do you think here, Nick?
Here, I'm having to make a decision. I'm having to make a big decision here, okay? So the way I'm looking at my team right now is obviously I've got, for the most part, nobody has the same bye. In fact, nobody has the same bye. W. But I've got my major starters, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, my flex and my tight end all fill. Don't have a quarterback yet. but I'm not going to lie. I really want to go Quinshawn Judkins here. I really like the
Ooh,
opportunity there. The no suspension is going to help him out. And of course, being a rookie for the Browns, you're probably going to get the ball quite a bit. But
now
then at
you're
the same time, there's a guy like Roma Dunze out there who had a great preseason game. Cooper Kupp, like you said, Cleveland, Njoku. I like him. I even like Tyler Warren, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to reach real hard on this guy because I think there's a potential that he's not only wide receiver one, but he's competing for wide receiver one in his division maybe later in the year, especially depending on how Justin Jefferson goes. And that's Matthew Golden.
okay. All
I
right.
need a wide receiver one somewhere. I could go Jordan Addison, but he's going to be hurt. I'll take Golden. He's going to be my first depth wide receiver. So worst case, hey man, if he's coming in, I'm having a great week because again, he's a starter.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And the reason why I did that is because of my next pick. But let's do this next one. Let's see who these guys drafted.
Okay. I mean, Addison goes right after you, and then you go on a nice little running back run with Caleb
Yep.
Johnson, Judkins, B-Rob, who will not be going here in drafts now after that
Nope.
trade to the 49ers. RIP Isaac Garendo. He
Yep.
is now worth nothing. Tyrone Tracy goes, Mark Andrews, Goff. That, like, never taken a quarterback here.
I agree.
Adunze, there goes your boy. ETN goes, Diggs, Godwin, and Cup. So some of the guys you were looking at, not available again. Who are you looking at here?
Oh, this one is my do not leave the draft without him. That's what this pick is right here. This is he will go in every draft I can physically grab him in. Do you know who that is?
I have an idea. I think he's a tight end.
No, he's a wide receiver.
Oh, I'm
Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you get Emeka Egbuka. I won't let anybody have him.
Wasn't trying to say his name so he could be on my team.
No way. I refuse.
My next picks go right away. So,
dude, Emeka is going to be fantastic. I love Tetaroa. He is my guy. I'm a Panthers fan all day long. But man, Emeka Egbuka, I even have a tweet out there where I'm like, Tetaroa is my guy, but I have a feeling Emeka is going to be the better wide receiver, not only this year, but long term.
Yeah, I like it. I like the pick there of Egbuka. I think he could be in for a fantastic season. Every year, there's always one rookie, not outside of running back, either a receiver or tight end, multiple usually, but one just outperforms everybody and just becomes a superstar. And I think Egbuka really has the chance and opportunity to do that.
Yep.
And I've thought that since draft day. If you go back to our draft show, nobody was expecting the pick there. They get Godwin and McMillan.
I agree.
And they take him, and I was instantly. I think he has a path to contribute right away, and obviously he does now with McMillan being hurt for a while and Godwin, probably missing the first few games of the year. He can step in and just, eat alongside Mike Evans. So I really love the Egbuka pick. I was probably going to take him.
I think there's a scenario where Egbuka ends the year higher than Mike Evans.
Okay.
So that's really where the value comes in. Like if he's not I don't need him to start, but if he down the road gives me anything, it's going to be electric because that means Godwin's not really giving it. That means maybe Evans is finally sliding after his decade of, sitting at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm on the clock here, and I've only gone running backs and receivers. Look at that. Just 3 straight running backs and then 4 straight receivers.
Yep.
So I'm really loving the depth. And, I'm looking at the board. I really wanted Ingram to fall. And, of course, I get sniped with Egbuka and Ingram.
You like Ingram, really?
I do like Ingram. I think he's going to get a lot of targets in that Broncos offense. A lot of just, 6, 7 targets a game or receptions a game. I think Ingram will eat this year, but of course he goes. I'm going to take a quarterback here, and I know I was hating on quarterbacks, but I think Kyler Murray is the first of the late round quarterbacks that I really like. Getting here almost in the 9th round, I think that's a great value for a rushing quarterback. Now he's fast, but he doesn't rush like some of the other rushing quarterbacks. But I believe in the talent there, and on a per game, he per game fantasy points per game, he's right up there as a top 10 quarterback. So
100%,
definitely worth the draft stock here in this the sky's the limit if he decides to take off and run.
Mhm.
That's just bonus. So I'm really needing a tight end here.
There's some good ones. There's 2 rookies on the board.
Now I'm
Or
looking
what?
at
1 rookie, I'm sorry.
yeah, Warren just went. I'm looking at your boy, Colston Loveland, and
I
if I
love it.
think Loveland, it gets kind
Kyle
of bare
Pitts.
afterwards. It gets kind of bare afterwards. But you know what? I don't like reaching on players, and on
Ooh,
my personal board, I think Loveland would be a little bit of a reach here.
okay,
I'm
okay.
going to go with the best receiver available on my board, and and that's Jawan Jennings,
Ooh,
49ers. I think he has a great chance to repeat what he did last year, and be the number one option for a 49ers team that they're always great in fantasy. So if you can get
absolutely.
the Niners number one option in the ninth rounds, I really like that. So I'm going to take Jawan Jennings there and really solidify my receivers,
Hell yeah.
especially if McLaurin misses any time. I feel like I can play the matchups with the rest of my guys in Judy, Olave, and Jennings. So I really like the pick there. Nick, what are you doing here?
Oh, mine's going to be easy, and I'm going to give you a bit of a inside baseball as to why I went this way. Okay, early
Okay.
CD Brian Thomas, then I went George Kittle. I love to stack me some tight ends and some quarterbacks. I also, at this point, if I would have gone my original route and gone Dylan Sampson, I wouldn't have either been able to get Golden or Egbuka. Well, one of those would have had to fall in order for this plan to completely come to fruition. So that's why I overdrafted a little bit. So you know what? I got to complete what I started already, and I'm going to get Brock Purdy as my quarterback. I don't care what anybody says. Like you
I
said,
like it.
Jawan Jennings is going to get the ball. CMC is going to get those dump passes. And having George Kittle already on my team, the stack's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I love the pick. Brock Purdy, another one of those guys. If you just look at his fantasy points per game, he's right up there as a top 10 quarterback. So
Yep.
I love the pick there. Ah, I
Ooh,
wanted
Stroud goes.
coming back around, so that hurts. But
Who, you
uh,
want to Kraft?
I wanted Kraft. I wanted Kraft mac and cheese, and there
Kraft
goes.
singles is good, dude.
Yeah, I wanted him. I wanted him or Kincaid, and they both go. Of course, that's just how this works. You're on the clock here in the 10th round. What are you thinking here?
I need a running back, but to be honest, I'm not willing to bet on Ramondre Stevenson. I'm not willing to bet on Nick Chubb, even though I love Nick Chubb to death.
He could be the starter.
He could be, but is it really worth my third? I mean, do I just kind of
I mean, the board's only gonna get weaker.
Yes, but there are some that I might be willing to risk the biscuit in order to get some more depth players here. And to be honest, I'm trying to see. Of course, I can go for the memes, go Kyle Pitts, but I'm not going to do that. To be honest, the guy that I really like on this list is Jaden Higgins. Again, we had that conversation earlier about Nico Collins. But then again, Darnell Mooney's here, and I like Darnell Mooney a lot. This is a tough one. Again, I already got them. You know what? I'm going to have to go running back at some point. Let's just do it. Let's just pull the trigger. I'm going to take Nick Chubb. I just need him for depth. The other running back that's there is hurt, Joe Mixon. So, obviously that's a little bit. I only need him to really sub in 1, maybe 2 weeks. And I'll probably have to take a later running back anyway. So I'm really hoping on some upside on one of those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't hate the pick. And Kyle Pitts goes right there. 10 rounds too late. Should have been in the first round.
Exactly. Pick one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to go running back here. And here's a guy who's going to rise up draft boards. And that's Austin Eckler of the Washington Commanders. As we talked about a little bit earlier, we touched on it. Brian Robinson is traded away. So that leaves either Austin Eckler or Bill. Ja'Cory Krosky. I'm terrible at pronouncing. Let's just call him Bill.
Yes.
I believe Austin Eckler is going to start the season as the workhorse back. I definitely don't think it'll be a bulk of the carry. I think it'll be like a 60-40 split.
Agreed.
But Eckler, he's still one of the best pass-catching running backs in the league. He knows pass protection. I think that's what they were looking for next to Jaden Daniels. So I'm going to take him here as my RB4. Could be a guy just to fill in. So
exactly, and that's what you're needing this late in the draft.
Yeah, I really like the pick right there. Back on the clock, and thank goodness he's still available. And that's going to be my tight end. I'm going to go Jake Ferguson of the Cowboys. I was talking with a buddy last night about Jake Ferguson. We were doing our dynasty draft, and he wanted Jake Ferguson. I wanted Terrence Ferguson, and we went game by game for Fergie for the past couple of seasons. And he has his duds, his fair share of duds, but he's more consistent than people think. I really like Ferguson there, especially when Dak is on the field. He is definitely more productive, as all the Cowboys are. But Ferguson in the 11th as my starting tight end. It's not it's not what you want when you first enter a draft, but the way the draft came out, I don't hate it. I really think all the other positions are super strong on my team and the depth. So I don't hate
100%.
Ferguson here.
I agree. I think Ferguson has a lot of potential. Again, I went CeeDee Lamb because I love when Dak just sits back there and hucks the ball. I think that's going to be this year. I think he could be one of the top 5 guys, and not only in terms of passing yards, but in terms of actual physical throws. I think Dak's really going to have to go out there and do something, especially because of that depleted running back room. Of course, you got his running back on the board now, Jaden Blue, the backup, rookie hurt. So yeah, they're really hoping that guys like CD, Pickens, and of course Ferguson are going to be able to get them out of that hole.
Absolutely. What are you thinking
And
here, Nick?
this leaves me in such an interesting place. So obviously, I just went and got Chubb. I like Chubb, but I really need depth. But at the same time, there's a chance where Brock Purdy doesn't finish the season. There's a chance where Brock Purdy gives me some issues. I could really go, Caleb Williams here, have my backup quarterback and be one of those teams that just doesn't need to worry about that position. I really want to go here because what am I doing otherwise? I'm overdrafting a wide receiver, hoping that he's going to be better than guys like Emeka Egbuka and Matthew Golden. So that's tough. Or I'm going a severe depth running back. I mean, here I'm going to have to. I'm going to take Caleb Williams because there's a chance that he's my top 5 quarterback this year. I think he's going to absolutely explode with Ben Johnson. And if that's the case, I might be starting Caleb Williams and trading Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I don't hate the pick. Like I said earlier, I think all the late round quarterbacks are extreme values this year. I mean, Justin Fields in the 12th, Caleb Williams in the 11th, Dak Prescott, all quarterbacks I'm really targeting this season. You're back on the clock here, and I'm hoping you don't do
Luther Burden. Is it Luther Burden? You want him?
It might be. I'm not saying.
I'm not taking Luther Burden. I'm going to have to go and get somebody else because I need, like I said, I still need that running back depth. And what I'm looking at is Braylon Allen, obviously behind Breece Hall. There's an opportunity where, with the Aaron Glenn system that he could become a pretty decent target share. And to be honest, some people have even speculated that Breece Hall might get traded. So if that's the case, that's big time. So I'm going to probably just go with that. I'm going to risk it on Braylon Allen.
Okay.
Hey, if something happens for the Jets and he gets to start, that's awesome. He'll be able to help me out. But to be honest, I'm hoping guys like Omarion Hampton, Aaron Jones, guys like that are going to stay healthy. So if he's on the field, it's because something drastic happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Braylon Allen is a great handcuff. And there's a world where he gets a standalone flex value this season. So
especially late in the season.
Yeah, exactly. And I am thrilled that I get my number 1 sleeper this year, my number 1 my guy, most owned player in all my leagues so far, and that is Luther Burden at the end of the 12th round.
I love it.
I think that's maybe my favorite pick of the draft so far. Yeah, that's just swinging for the upside. And if he doesn't get, if he's not fantasy relevant this year, I took him at the end of the 12th, and I have plenty of other receivers and depth where I'm not leaning. I don't need Luther Burden to hit week 1. I can hold him on my bench and let him develop a little while.
Absolutely.
And then, maybe by like week 6, 7, that's another time I did that.
I feel like Luther Burden is Terry McLaurin coming out of college. I feel like they're close to the same player. I feel like Luther Burden just got a bit more anger when he runs.
Yeah,
but I love them. If you're in a dynasty league, a guy like Burden is amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're on the clock here, and we're just going to keep going for depth here. Looking at the running backs, there's an obvious pick here for me, and that's going to be Ja'Cory Cross-Garrett. I have the Washington running back, whether it's Eckler or Bill. I got one of them.
Hell yeah.
Bill's going to be drafted a lot higher than the 13th round, so.
Agreed. People are going to overdraft him, but the person that's not going to get overdrafted, I'm not going to take him here because I do have 2 quarterbacks. But the person we got to give some kind of credit to is Cam Ward. I mean, he's looked pretty decent so far. I mean, he throws the heck out of that ball. Huh?
You going 3 quarterbacks?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that's the one guy that
Okay.
you just said that about
Yeah,
your guy that you just took, Ja'Cory. There's a real good opportunity. I feel like a guy that's being slept on is Cam Ward. So I just got to give him his flowers while we're here.
absolutely.
And this one, I'm going to do the same thing I've been doing. I could go and get Dylan Sampson. I
Yeah.
like Dylan Sampson a lot. Or I can go get Tyler Algier. What's the chance that Bijan gets hurt? Possibly,
Hopefully
and
low. Hopefully low. Dylan
hopefully,
Sampson
but
can start.
I like Sampson too. But man, I'm going to take Tyler Algier. He was vulturing touchdowns a few years ago from Bijan. Hey, depth, depth, depth at this point. If anything happens, like you said, handcuff.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a handcuff. Dylan Sampson goes at the end of the 13th round.
Yep.
Here we are in our last round.
Bishal
I
too,
really
too. I like that.
Tillman. Maybe Team 12 just got a starting running back in the last round of the draft in Jerome Ford.
Wow.
That's kind of a massive value right there. Nick, who are you ending your draft with here?
I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, so I'm staring at Bryce Young, but I'm absolutely not going 3 quarterbacks. Here, to be honest, I'm probably going to get a tight end. I need a depth tight end. I've got George Kittle. I'm expecting him to start basically the entire season. I'm not really worried about that. It's more of like, hey, who can kind of hop in here and get me some extra points on those weeks? To be honest, I'm going to go with Elijah Arroyo. I really like him. I like Darnold. And if Milroe gets into there, oh my God, expect Arroyo to absolutely explode.
Yeah, absolutely. I like Elijah Arroyo there, but there's a tight end that I'm really liking a lot this year, and that's Evan Ingram's replacement, and that's Brenton Strange. I think
Ooh.
Brenton Strange has the chance to put up a season like Evan Ingram has the past couple of years, just be a target hog in the middle of the field for Trevor Lawrence. So I really like Brenton Strange there. Hopefully, him and Ferguson, one of them steps up and starts as the starting tight end for me. And yeah, that wraps up the draft with 2 quarterbacks going at the end: Trevor Lawrence and Michael Penix.
Yep.
Wow, we had a Shador drafting.
You know
We
what
had
that
Shador.
means?
I didn't even
Shadur.
notice Shador.
Yep. Shadur was drafted over Bryce Young, Matt Stafford, Tua, Aaron Rodgers, Darnold, Dart, Geno Smith, AR, Russell Wilson. I mean, he's
Definitely an overdraft there. All right, so
no
that wraps up
way.
our draft, Nick. Let's go through and look at some of our look at our teams here.
Yep.
I went running back strong to start, and then wide receiver run for me 4 straight, and then I went Kyler Murray in the 8th, and then got some more depth, and then Ferguson and Strange at tight end.
Yep.
Tight end's my weakest position. Easily the weakest position, and then quarterback. But I'm happy with Kyler on a points per game metric. He's one of the best in
Yep.
fantasy football. I'm really happy with the way my receivers turned out. I was worried about taking McLaurin, but the wide receivers that got after him, Judy, Olave, Jennings,
Yeah.
I
Fantastic.
feel very happy to start them in place of McLaurin for the first couple of weeks until that contract situation gets figured out. I really love this team. This is probably my favorite mock draft I've done this year, honestly. Nick, let's go look at your team. You went CeeDee Lamb, Brian Thomas to start. Then
Yep.
you get a stud tight end in George Kittle, Amari and Hampton in the 4th, Zay Flowers in the 5th, then another running back, Aaron Jones. Then you went back-to-back rookies in Golden Egbuka.
Yep.
Then you got your 2 quarterbacks, Purdy and Williams, and then got some depth running backs, Nick Chubb, Braylon Allen, and Tyler Algier. And can't forget Elijah Arroyo in the last round. How do you feel about your team?
I like it. Normally PPR, I'm like you. I normally go running backs early, but you know what? I've been kind of warming up to CeeDee Lamb, and of course, over the recent news with Jerry Jones kind of being a little bit of a dick, we'll say, to Micah Parsons, makes me believe in CeeDee Lamb even more. I like it. Again, I could have gone Gibbs. I really like Genty, but you know what? It's PPR. I'm getting that extra point for that reception. Guys like Lamb, guys like Brian Thomas are going to get a ton of receptions. Of course, my view of stacks with quarterbacks and tight ends. I could have also gotten Colston Loveland at one point. So I could have had Colston Loveland and Caleb Williams. I really like them both. So I really feel like that's a win-win there. Again, George Kittle, stable tight end, one of the top tight ends basically every year that he's not hurt. And then, of course, I'm betting with Hampton and Jones and guys like that, hey, they're able to come in there and make a measurable change to the team, but not change everything. Just go out there and keep me at least in the game every week. They're not going to lose me weeks. They'll probably just keep me relevant. It'll be these wide receivers that I took that really send me over the edge, especially Golden and Egbuka, who I believe in a ton.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I love the Emeka Egbuka pick. He's probably my favorite pick. Um,
To be honest,
I
Team
think
Seven's
he's
got a sneaky team. Team Seven's got the sneaky team.
I like the wide receiver run here. Not a fan of Cup, but I like these three a lot. Laporta in the 4th round, Jaden Daniels, and then 2 stud running backs at the top. I think they need a 3rd running back. Charbonnet, the running backs,
A little weak.
if those 2 stay healthy, Gibbs and Jacobs, I mean, yeah, they could be a dominant team. Let's go look at Team 12. They started out amazing for me. Their first 5 picks I really like. I don't mind Pacheco. I would have gone Travion Henderson here if I was them. Mark
Agreed.
Andrews, okay. All right.
I'm out on Mark Andrews.
Goff, not a fan of the pick. Downs, Reed, I like it. Goddard, Najee, your boy Cam Ward, and Jerome Ford. I don't hate Team 12.
I don't either. I think, to be honest, Cam Ward's going to be starting over Goff pretty soon for that team.
Yeah, that's it's not ridiculous to say that. What's that mean? Yeah. That's a wrap on our 12-team PPR mock draft. Nick, it was another good time. We got football right around the corner. It's these mock drafts are turning into real drafts.
Hell yeah, dude. I am so excited. I'm literally about to get off here, do my 32-team draft with Walter's picks. I'm excited, man. It's finally draft season. It's in full effect. Nobody can tell me that football's too far away. I'm ready.
I'm about to go watch some college football, make some breakfast, watch the Farmageddon Bowl between Kansas State and Iowa State.
We go.
Some great Big 12 football. So that's a wrap for us here at Blitz Sports Media. If you want to check out more of this, go watch some of our previous videos down below. Leave a like, comment your favorite pick in the draft. You can go follow Nick on Twitter at Roll Coverage Pod and Panthers Blitz. You can follow me on Twitter at SBrownholtz1. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.